There's a weird sound coming from Pixel phones. And here's the wild part. It's been around since the COVID era. Not weeks, not months, years. So long, in fact, that some Pixel users now joke it's not even a bug anymore. It's just a Pixel feature. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. If you've ever opened an app on your Pixel and heard a sudden, loud popping or clicking noise, know your phone isn't broken, and know you're definitely not alone. Pixel users are reporting this strange sound across multiple generations, and it's suddenly back in the spotlight with the Pixel 10 series. This matters because opening and closing apps is the most basic thing a smartphone does. You don't expect surprises, you don't expect noises, and you definitely don't expect something so noticeable that people hear it even when their volume is set to 0. Most of the recent complaints are coming from Pixel 10 users, but this issue goes way further back. Reports mention the Pixel 9, Pixel 8, Pixel 7, and even older models. One Reddit user claims they experienced the same thing almost 6 years ago, right around the time the world was locked indoors. That's how long this bug has been floating around. So what actually triggers it? From what users are describing, the popping noise usually happens when audio is already playing in the background and another app tries to play a short sound on top of it. Think Spotify or YouTube Music playing, and then you open a game or Duolingo. Boom! Pop sound. But here's the frustrating part. It's completely random. Sometimes it happens every time you open an app. Other times it disappears for 30 or 40 minutes and then suddenly comes back. There's no consistent pattern, which makes it even harder to pin down. One user said they hear it even with their phone volume turned all the way down. Another said it happens constantly while using Duolingo. And more than a few people mentioned how awkward it is when the sound goes off in a completely silent room, the kind of silence where everyone looks at you like your phone just did something illegal. At this point, some Pixel users have fully leaned into the chaos. One Redditor joked that it's actually a Pixel feature that's existed since the Pixel 3a. Whether that was sarcasm or genuine belief is unclear, but the fact that people can even say that tells you how long Google has ignored it. Some users assumed it was a hardware issue. One Pixel 10 Pro owner even went as far as replacing their phone's speakers. The result? The popping noise was still there. Same phone, same issue, new speakers. That pretty much confirms this isn't a hardware problem, it's software. More specifically, it likely points to an audio driver glitch. The most believable explanation is that the Pixel's audio system struggles when a short sound interrupts longer background audio. That sudden handoff causes the driver to misbehave, producing that sharp popping sound instead of smoothly transitioning. The frustrating thing is that Google hasn't said a word about it. Despite reports on Reddit and Google's own community forums, there's been no official explanation, no acknowledgement, and no timeline for a fix. What's interesting is that not every Pixel can reproduce the issue. Even the article's author tried to trigger it on their Pixel 10 by playing Spotify and opening Duolingo, one of the most reported trigger apps, and nothing happened. That inconsistency is probably why this bug has survived so long. But it also raises a bigger question. How many small Pixel bugs are slipping through simply because they don't affect everyone equally? This popping noise isn't happening in isolation either. Pixel 10 users have already dealt with a January 2026 update that reportedly broke internet connectivity. Before that, another update messed with the always-on display, and a Google Play system update hurt overall performance. Individually, these issues might seem minor, but together they start to chip away at the Pixel's reputation, especially for users who chose Google's own phone expecting the cleanest Android experience. The good news is that now this issue is getting attention again, there's a decent chance Google finally fixes it. Audio bugs are usually solvable with software updates, once they're acknowledged. But until then, if your Pixel randomly pops when you open an app, congratulations, you're not imagining things. You're not alone, and apparently, you're part of a very long-running Pixel tradition. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.